Hello, Synchronauts. How are you? Nice to see you. So this video today that I'm preparing for you is to talk about the Psi Bank. I am currently working with a group of kin from all over the world, and we have a special synchronotron study group. And what I've noticed is that many of these people who are already studying synchronotron there are some topics that they don't know about that have to do with the dream spell or the lectonon or any other aspects of the law of time that they don't know about. And so when they bump into these words or these concepts in synchronotron, they don't know what we're talking about. So the purpose of this video is to talk about one of those topics, which is very important to understand, which is the Psi Bank. So I'm going to be sharing a screen now with you so that you can see the presentation and see the information. And I'm going to turn off the camera right now so that my image won't be superimposed on the text and then you can see everything. So just give me a second over here. There we go. Okay, so welcome to this mini tutorial. I don't know how many it will be, but welcome to this tutorial in which we'll be talking about what the planetary Psi Bank is and how that correlates to our calculations, starting with the Dreamspell and moving on to Synchronotron a little bit. So let's begin with definition. What is the Psi Bank, the planetary Psi Bank? And there are two things that I want to talk about in this video. One is the planetary Psi Bank, and then the other one, which stems actually from the planetary Psi Bank, is a Psi Chrono unit. So what does this mean? What is a Psi Bank? Jose Arguelles teaches us that the Psi Bank is a 1320 frequency, fourth dimensional program that informs the DNA of its timing cycles. And until the discovery of the law of time in 1989, the Psi Bank functioned unconsciously. Although actually, Jose Arguelles had been starting to talk about the Psi Bank a little bit earlier in his works. I won't be talking about it, but you can read a little bit more about it in his book, The Transformative Vision, particularly. And he starts mentioning it also probably in Time and Technosphere, obviously in the Cosmic History Chronicles. So this is something that keeps coming up and up and up, but he's been talking about it since the very, very first beginning. I think that even before he wrote about the Mayan factor, he was starting to connect with this concept of the Psi Bank. So in easier terms, the Psi Bank is a nervous system of the noosphere. And what is a noosphere? The noosphere is the mind of the Earth. It's like this other layer that we have on top of all of the Earth layers. And that's where we connect when we want to like download information that comes from other spheres, other dimensions. Everything is stored in the noosphere. And actually, like the nervous system, or well, not only the nervous system, but the brain itself, we could say it's a Psi Bank. And the Psi Bank is a resonant structure that is operating in tandem with the electromagnetic fields of resonance, or the Van Allen radiation belts, which you have probably heard about. These belts are the ones that help create this protective layer so that whenever there's cosmic rays or even sun flares, that's what is protecting our Earth, our electromagnetic fields. And when this is disturbed by, for example, solar winds or solar flares, that's when we get, these northern lights. That's the photonic activation that's going on in those parts of our Earth. So it's connected to that physical part. And these Van Allen radiation belts circle the globe at around between 2,000 and 11,000 miles altitude. And so if you want to learn more about this, then you can go check out other videos. Right now, I'm more interested in explaining what the planetary Psi Bank is. And there's tons of information out there when you can check out a little bit more of how the electromagnetic fields work in our planet and these Van Allen radiation belts. But what does this mean? That when there is information, there are upgrades. That's what Arguelles says, and I agree with him. When there are upgrades coming from other stellar systems, then it is actually this part of our Earth that is going to be activated, and it's going to bring the information for us to download it, and then we get discoveries, we learn new things. It's really interesting. That's why in some cases, some kinds of discoveries take place at the same time in different parts of the globe. For instance, we can talk about Newton and Leibniz, how they developed calculus, and they were in different parts of the Earth, and somehow they came to that information, each on their own. They were not connected, and that's because as a species we were ready to receive that information. And where it is originally received is a noosphere, and then it's downloaded to the people who are receptive. We are like little antennas that will receive this information. So because this is going on, then we can know that for ourselves as a species, changes in evolution are inevitably changes in consciousness. And how are these changes in consciousness going to arrive for many people is by the activation of information in the noosphere, and then it is downloaded to our own brains. So coming back to the Psi Bank, we can say that it's like a vault that is consisting of 2,080 units where all the fourth dimensional time registrations are kept. This information storage and regulation system is coded by the universal frequency of 1320 time and adjusted to the Tzolk'in matrix on Earth. So if you want to understand a little bit more about the planetary Psi Bank, obviously you have to know what the 1320 frequency is, what is the law of time, and then understand this information. What is the Tzolk'in matrix? I'm not going to talk about this on this video, but if you're here looking for this information, you probably know already what this is. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. And so let's talk a little bit more about this Psi Bank. It consists of 8 Tzolk'in matrices, like this is the Tzolk'in matrix. So this Psi Bank consists of 8 Tzolk'in matrices placed around the Earth. And I'm going to show you another image further along where you can see how that is enveloping like the whole planet. So each kin, each one of these positions here, each one of the planetary kin stops being a planetary kin, and then it becomes a Psi Chrono kin unit. And you can find it, the acronym for it, or the letters that we're going to use are PCU. So whenever you see in any text related to the law of time, PCU, that means Psi Chrono unit. But I added the kin. That's how we do it in Spanish. And for me, it's very useful to talk about it because like one thing is a kin, the day kin, or the kin of the date when you were born. And the other one is a Psi Chrono kin unit. But in terms of how Arguelles explained it, it's PCU, Psi Chrono unit. So each one of these Psi Chrono units become a memory bank, which is keeping the fourth dimensional information of what happens on a determined kin on day. That is, every time that something big goes on, in this layer of the Earth, of the Psi Bank, that in that little square, that's where it's gonna be stored, and it can be retrieved. It's kind of like the Akashic records in a way. You could say that's the equivalent to it, but this is like the physical part. And this has to do with time, and this has to do with the frequency of 1320. And I love this image. You can find it in, actually, I got it from the Law of Time website. And so we can talk about how these different layers of the Earth are interacting. So obviously, first we have the octahedron iron crystal, which is like the heart of the Earth, the crystal heart of the Earth, which is within the core. And then we have the different mantles, and then the tectonic plates, and then the crust, the hydrosphere, the technosphere. What the technosphere means is the sphere of technology that has, it's relatively new if you compare the story of the Earth with, well, the history of the Earth with the history of humankind. It's very, very new. Then we have the biosphere, like everything that has to do with life in our planet, the atmosphere, the troposphere, the stratosphere. The highest one, no, is the ionosphere. And then come these Van Allen radiation belts, where you can see right here, which create in turn the electromagnetic field. So this is like the physical part, what is going on. But within it, you're going to see this Psi bank that is going to be enveloping the Earth. And we will see one image where it looks more like, how does it really look? Or how would it look? Because it's there energetically, no? It's not there like on a 3D basis, but it's definitely there. So now let's continue. And let me talk a little bit more about the noosphere, because according to this theory of the noosphere, again, the mind of the Earth, the changes in evolution of the biosphere and of life on Earth are programmed into the DNA and registered as frequency structures that are held in place by the Psi bank, the 4-dimensional planetary memory field. So what this means is that as the information is there, and when the time is right for us to receive these upgrades, then the noosphere will be using the information within the Psi bank to inform life on Earth. That's when these mutations happen, these changes, these new things that nobody was expecting. This is all information that is right there in the noosphere. And also, obviously, because it's connected to the Van Allen belts, the Psi bank also reflects the bipolar magnetism of the Earth and the fourfold shifting of the Earth in one rotation around the sun. This means the fourfold shifting refers to the four stations, you know, winter, spring, summer, and autumn. So these are parts of the cycles of the Earth that is, they are also reflected in the Psi bank. So actually, it is precisely the reflection of this bipolar magnetism that creates a double Tzolk'in plate stretching from the north to the South Pole. So this fourfold shift, which is referring to these two equinoxes and the two solstices of the Earth in its rotation around the sun, is creating 4 different plates. And each one of these is divided into a northern and southern Psi plate. Why? Because, for example, I live in Mexico. We are in the northern hemisphere. And right now I'm living the point between spring and summer. But in the southern hemisphere, in South America, what is going on is the opposite. That is like mirroring. They are right now in the fall or the autumn, and then they are going towards the winter. So each one of these plates is a mirror that reflects a seasonal quality. So that has to do, a seasonal quality, that has to do with the actual cycles of the Earth. This is amazing. So this means that the 4 shifts in the Earth's axis that occur during one solar orbit are what accounts for winter, spring, summer, and fall in the areas north and south of the tropical zones, 23.5 degrees north and south of the equator. And I'm going to show you an image in a few moments where we can see this mirror effect and how that is connected to the 4 seasons. So if we see this Psi bank, its designation makes the conceptualization of the noosphere easier, because then we can contemplate that the entirety of the systems of thought and knowledge are all contained within the Psi bank regulator of the noosphere. Like all possibilities are there, like a sieve. And this Psi bank regulator, located between these 2 electromagnetic fields, is not only a storage unit for all thought, but it also contains all knowledge of the evolutionary timing programs. So this is so interesting because it connects us to nature, but it also connects us to the possibility of upgrades and evolution and change. So this is really amazing, this intelligence that is contained within our Earth. So this is what I was telling you about. These are the 4 plates. So we have like the northern hemisphere, and then the southern hemisphere over here. And you see, if north we have spring, in the south there is autumn. In the north they have summer, and in the south they have winter. And in the north, autumn, south, spring. north winter and south summer. So this is the perfect reflection of this duality that is going on right here, right now on this earth. And it's in perfect balance, which is the most amazing and beautiful thing ever, if you ask me. So this is an image that is also, you can also find at the Law of Time website, and it's very useful. So what we can see is 260 unit Tzolk'in is half of one Psi plate, as shown above. One Psi plate is 520 units. That means 260 unit Tzolk'in above with an inverse 260 unit Tzolk'in below, as shown above. So this is one Psi plate, and the 4 Psi plates, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, they complete the 2080 unit Psi bank. This is what it looks like. Now, let's start talking about the Psi Chrono unit, because how does this inform our solar year? Because it's not only talking about the 4 stations, or the 4 seasons, I'm sorry. I'm saying stations because in Spanish we say estaciones, but the 4 seasons. So how does it connect with the solar year? So each day on the 13-moon calendar or synchronometer includes a Psi Chrono unit, which is activated day by day through the entire 364 plus 1 day year. So what you can do to check this out, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it in a moment, but you can refer to your Star Traveler's 13-moon almanac of synchronicity to see the daily Psi Chrono unit. And here in the synchronometer, you can see that this PCU is marked with a PSI. When it says PSI, it's indicating which unit of the Psi bank we are activating daily. And this energy is influencing in awakening of supermental consciousness, which is affecting Earth evolution. And something very important to note always, the Psi Chrono units remain the same every year. So day 1 of moon 1, you're going to have the same PCU every year. It never changes. The energy of the day in the 3D, it does, but the Psi Chrono unit, it stays the same. So how can we understand this Psi Chrono unit? And I'm talking about personal experience and what I was taught by my aunt, Julie de la Portilla, here in Mexico. And we can understand this Psi Chrono unit, or this PCU, as a 4D, 4-dimensional energy that is stable because it never changes every year. As I said, it's always the same. And it connects us with our dimensional holon or dimensional double. So our birth kin, when like the day we are born, we have assigned a galactic signature or a kin. This is like our 3D personality, no? Who we are, the energy that we have incarnated in this lifetime for our experiences and growth as a soul. Whereas our Psi Chrono unit is a more subtle soul energy in the 4th dimension that will inform who we are beyond our incarnation. Like the 3D is your name and last name, and the 4th D is like your essence. Who are you when you are, like, for example, dreaming, when you're asleep, and when you will die? I mean, in terms of leaving the physical body, this essence that you are, that is connected to the Psi Chrono unit. That's how I come to understand it. So how are we going to merge? Because if you remember, the Psi bank has 8 of these different Tzolk'in images. So how are we going to merge these 268 Tzolk'in, which is the base of the Psi bank, as I just mentioned, and the 365 a day solar ring? So as I was saying, within a Tzolk'in matrix, we have 260 kin. But if you notice, from these 260 days, 52, which are here in these green squares, these are 52 if you count them all, you will see that these are what are called galactic activation portal days. So let's just subtract out of 260 these 52 Psi Chrono units. So that means 260 minus 52, it's gonna give us 208 kin, okay? Now, this remaining 52 galactic activation portal kin, we're going to multiply it times 3. That means 52 times 3 is going to give us 156. Now, to this number, we're going to add the original 208, which are not galactic activation portals. And the number that we get is 364. So you see that there is not a coincidence, and there is a connection between the Tzolk'in and also the solar year in terms of the Psi bank unit. The Psi bank, I'm sorry. So therefore, we have the 260 Tzolk'in days allocated throughout the solar ring or the year. So every day has a PCU except the day out of time. This is important to note. So for people who are born, and this is my experience, okay? This is my perspective. Maybe other people can understand it differently, but this is what I have noticed in my practice and my experience for the past 25 years that I've been in touch with this information. And what we have noticed is that people who are born on the day out of time, as they have no assigned PCU, we can understand that these people have free will as to how they want to live this incarnation. And they can choose the energy they want to connect to for the 4D holon. For like this incarnation, this mission that they want to do, they're like free to choose which kin appeals the most to them. Or the other option is that they can also look at the PCU from one day before or after their date of birth and choose which one they resonate most with and use that as a connection portal. So this is, in my experience, this is a proposal. This is not written in stone, but I am sharing this information because this question keeps coming up over and over again. So this is a proposal we have been using for many, many years in Mexxicamelot, and at the time when my aunt Julie had her node in Ediluz in Mexico City, this is what she taught me, and these are like our conclusions, no? But maybe other people have other ideas, and you're free to leave here in comments if you have any other ideas of how this is lived. But for now, according to this experience, this is how we have watched it to be. And so how is the PCU arrangement happening now? Because we have, as we said, normal kin, 208 kin, like they are no galactic activation portals, and then we have the 52 times 3. So how are we going to find this information in our synchronometer? Well, the first and the last 6 days of each moon will be galactic activation portal kins. And the days in between will be like normal, quote unquote, kin. So beginning on moon number 1, day 1 to day 3, the Psi Chrono unit is kin 1. That means red magnetic dragon. And then we're going to jump the next galactic activation portal in order in the Tzolk'in. You will see that is kin 20. That means that is the yellow resonant sun. So from day 4 to 6, therefore, the Psi Chrono kin unit will be kin 20. And then on day 7, you continue where you left off in the first PCU, which means kin 2. So we go from kin 2, day 8, kin 3, and so on and so forth. And you continue until when you reach day 23 of the moon, of the magnetic moon of the bat, then the PCU on day 23, 24, and 25 of that moon, the PCU is kin 241, meaning this is the red resonant dragon. So you're gonna go to the other extreme of the Tzolk'in, right about on the upper right corner, and you're going to find that this is that one. And then day 26 to 28, you're gonna go below to kin 260, which is the yellow cosmic sun. That will be the PCU for these 3 days. And then on moon number 2, from day 1 to day 3, you go back to the second part of the Tzolk'in, the second 20-day block, and you're gonna see that then the first PCU is kin 22, which is white solar wind. So from 1 day to day 3, the PCU will be kin 22, and from day 4 to 6, you go below. The next galactic activation portal is kin 39, which is the blue cosmic storm from day 4 to 6. And then day 7, you continue where you left off the last moon, which is in this case kin 18. Kin 18 is the white overtone mirror. Then the day 8 will be kin 19, and so on and so forth. Obviously, skipping the PCUs. Skipping the Galactic Activation Portal days, because those we are already counting in at the beginning and at the end of every moon. So then when we reach day 23 of moon 2, we're going to go to the all the way to the other side of the Tzolk'in, and the first galactic activation portal kin is kin 222. So from day 23 to day 25, you're going to see that the PCU is kin 222, white magnetic wind. And then from day 26 to day 28, you go below, because the next galactic activation portal kin after kin 222 is kin 239, which is the blue overtone storm. So days 26 to 28, you're going to have that as a PCU. So that is how we go on in this motion throughout the solar ring and year. So you can go check this out on your Star Traveler's 13 Moon Almanac of Synchronicity. You can order this through the Law of Time website, or you can order it on Amazon. I got mine from Amazon like this year, that when I'm recording this video. So one way or another, you can get your own, and that never changes. So even if you have an old Star Traveler's Moon Almanac of Synchronicity, you can check out what I'm talking about, because that never changes. So this is how we are doing this movement of the Psi Chrono kin unit. And that also informs our incarnation and our experience as kin, as planetary kin. So I told you a bit earlier that I would show you an image where you can see how the Psi bank actually looks around the Earth. So this is what it looks like. I don't know who made this image. It's been around on the web for a while. Actually, I think I took this image also from the Law of Time website. And I mean, just look at this. It is absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. And I really, really like it, because I'm very visual, and this easily helps me understand how the Psi bank is encircling our Earth, and how this is like the nervous system of the noosphere. So, summarizing what we have just talked about in this video, according to the glossary of terms of the Law of Time and the Cosmic History Chronicles, the PCU, or the Psi Chrono unit, is a very informational unit of time, which is the base of the Psi bank. It codes and contains all of the information of any of the 260 galactic signatures of the harmonic module of the Tzolk'in. Each day in the 13 moon synchronometer, or calendar, includes a Psi Chrono unit, PCU, that is activated day by day throughout the 364 plus 1 day year. So, as I just told you a moment ago, you can consult your Star Traveler's 13 Moon Almanac of Synchronicity to see the daily Psi Chrono unit. So there you have it, planetary kin. I hope that you like this video. Thanks for watching. Sorry about that. I get too excited when I do these videos and I explain, because this is such an interesting information. So please remember to like, subscribe, and share here on YouTube. Press the subscribe button and click on the little bell, so that every time that we have a new video, you can check it out. Some of our videos are in Spanish, some in English. That's how it goes for now. It's the nice thing about being bilingual. Well, actually, I speak more languages. Maybe in the near future, I will start recording stuff in French. You can also find us on Facebook, on TikTok. I only have one video, but maybe I will start doing more TikTok videos soon. And also on Instagram. Our handle is at Mexxicamelot with a double X. It's the Camelot from Mexico. So thank you so much. If you like what you're doing and you wish to donate, please leave us a comment. And we're also giving different services. We can do your kin reading, also tarot and different oracles readings. Like, we're doing a lot of stuff. I'm also studying right now astrology. I'm bringing more services to our channel so that you can understand better how synchronicity is the norm. So come and learn more about synchronicity with us. Thank you so much for your attention. And I hope that you have a very, very nice day. It's great to see you all. And if you also want us to talk about other stuff, please, you are most welcome to do so. Thank you very much. Nice to see you, and Talk to you soon, Synchronauts. Goodbye.